Week 13 of college football. Let's start our recaps in Stillwater. Oh, so close.
So
Oklahoma State wins 40-34 in double overtime and earns a berth in the Big 12 championship game. The win, of course, as you all know, keeps Oklahoma out of the Big 12 championship game. Ted, Isaac Rex, just fall down, man. It's only second down. You don't have to fight for it like it's fourth down. I appreciate the effort, but what are we doing? That was a hell of a play by Trey Rucker to take
it
the ball
was.
from him. That was a fantastic defensive play.
It was. That was impressive. It really felt like at that point that BYU just somehow got through a horrible second half of football and may still find a way to get the win. But nice play by Oklahoma State. Was really shocked that it really ended up being that much of a game, but BYU came out and was handing it to them early. Um, Oklahoma State answered nice, but couple of guys for BYU played really nice games. I thought Retzloff played. He is like he will make some really nice plays, and then there's other times where it's like, where did that guy come from?
This is how I explained it to my wife. There is a play like the 50-yard dime he threw to the Hill kid. He looks incredible on that play. Where you go, that guy is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And then the next play, this is the only sports analogy I could come up with. Ted, you know when it gets deep into a Major League Baseball game, they exhaust the bullpen and a position player has to come on the mound and pitch?
Yes.
Yeah, he looks like that playing quarterback at points in time where you're like, this guy can't even throw a forward pass.
Uh, yeah.
It's so strange.
Strange. I mean, there were some wild plays, and I thought BYU's defensive line played pretty well, but at linebacker, my goodness, they're just so bad at linebacker.
They're bad at linebacker and they're worse at safety.
Yeah.
Ollie
Yeah. They had all the
Gordon's
injuries at safety. I forgot about that.
Ollie Gordon's run in the first overtime, the safety, oh my gosh. They are so slow at safety. It's incredible to watch.
Well, if you're talking about, I can't remember if it was the first or the second. Did he score the second touchdown too?
Oh, the touchdown in the second OT, the one where it looked like it was going to be a loss or 3 or 4, and that's Tyler Batty. That's their best player on defense. That's got him in the backfield, and he just makes a miss and goes and jumping and turning and twisting in the end zone. That was an awesome individual effort.
Well, on one of those, our guy 31 just runs right up into the back of somebody and falls down to the ground, and yeah, it was hard to watch. Whenever you need that game, it's like, what are they doing? But it was entertaining. I know that was a lot of fun to watch.
It was. I watched the entire second half. Did not miss one snap at the Oklahoma City Thunder game. I watched the entire thing on my phone while the Thunder and the 76ers were playing.
Oh, well,
And
I was pretty much sold on YouTube TV watching the quad box with all the games happening at the same time. Didn't miss anything at my parents' house. That was awesome.
that's awesome. Now, what did you think? There's a lot of discussion about what's 4th and 1. BYU's at their own 35. They're up 24-21. Sataki uses the timeout with a little over 5.5 minutes to go. When they came back from a commercial and their punt team was out there, dude, I'm telling you, I was shocked. They'd been so aggressive in the first half, right? The fake punt before the half that leads to the field goal. I felt like they were being really aggressive, and then to get conservative in that moment, I was surprised. And I know it ended up working out. They end up in overtime, but I don't know, I just felt like you had a moment there and they didn't seize it.
Well, at the time, though, they hadn't done anything in the second half. They hadn't moved the ball at all. And I was sitting there thinking, you're probably gonna get the first down, but you're gonna go 3 and out after that. And you're probably gonna punt it, and they're gonna go down and score, and you're not gonna have any time to do anything. So I mean, if you could guarantee that you're going to be able to convert a couple of first downs, then I would have gone for it. But they had been so bad in the second half offensively that I don't blame them for punting it at all.
I would have handed it to Robbins and just lived with it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But hey, Ollie Gordon was really good. 5 touchdowns for that guy in this one. And I thought Leon Johnson, he was massive for them in the second half. It seems like every big pass play was going to that guy.
Yep.
And it continues to shock me that they were trying to redshirt that guy.
I know.
Crazy.
Before we played him and flipped on the film, I was like, best receiver that got. Dangerous. I'll say this though, as good as Ollie Gordon was, he made some nice throws, but especially early, I thought Bowman was bad.
That weather looked
that's true. That's
terrible, true. And you got to imagine that affected the way that he played. He did not throw it very well.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say.
It was horrible.
I was stunned at how that stadium looked. They kept showing those overhead shots too. So in Oklahoma State fans, it's not like they're not a type of people that are prepared for cold weather. They got the gear, so you know it just had to be awful. But you got to have more people in the stadium than when you're playing to go play for a Big 12 title. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Layer up, people. If OU fans ever did something like that, I would roast them endlessly.
Yeah, they would roast themselves endlessly. That would not happen. It does remind me of the foggy camera problem in that football game. Could you notice that?
Wet lens.
Watching on your phone, it was horrible the whole game, but it was terrible conditions. Hey, congratulations, Oklahoma State. Got a chance to go upset the whole thing and beat Texas in the Big 12 championship. I don't think that's going to happen, but they've got an opportunity.
They absolutely do. Let's talk about their opponent. Texas Tech went to Austin and got absolutely dismantled by the Texas Longhorns, 57-7. Ted, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this one. Texas is a much more talented football team. They're a better football team than Texas Tech. I was really hoping our buddy Dusty Dvorak was going to get a call, a suspenseful one, but at least he got to call Arch Manning's first action. That was awesome. How about that?
Yeah,
that was a beatdown, dude.
Yeah,
damn.
They spent the second half discussing the college football playoff. What made the different scenarios, who would get in and who wouldn't. But yeah, Arch Manning went in there, looked pretty good. Honestly, thought he looked good out there. Yeah, too much talent all over the field for Texas out there. You know, I thought early on it looked like, okay, this could be a football game, but just didn't have the horses. The defense, the front seven, too good for Texas.
I thought Ewers was solid, not great. He had the interception in the end zone on the underthrow on the fade to A.D. Mitchell. Not a good throw. He
Story of the
has,
season. That's Quinn Ewers summed up right there.
yeah,
Solid, not great.
but Texas had some explosive plays in this one. Jaden Blue looked fast as hell on that 69-yard touchdown run. You mentioned it. Tech's offense. I don't know if you didn't watch the game. I cannot explain how impressive it was that Taj Brooks ended up with 95 rushing yards in this game. If you saw that, you went, oh, they must have done some decent things. No, that man did a lot of it by himself. I mean, those 95 yards are a testament to just how individually talented that young man is.
Yeah,
because
he's got to be close to Tech's all-time leading rusher, doesn't he? I mean, he's put up some serious numbers for 4 years in a row after transferring in.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
Baron Morton needed to be special in this one, and well, he threw a pick six that went off a guy's foot. So that's just kind of the day it was him for him. That's just kind of the day it was for him. 88 yards passing, 3 interceptions, including the pick six. My goodness, that is not the performance that they needed for this one to be interesting. One takeaway from this game that I think applies to the Big 12 championship game. Texas's red zone offense continues to be an issue, man.
Yep.
And that is the number one reason at this point in time. I think Texas is probably going to end up in the college football playoff. It's the number one reason I don't think they can win a college football playoff game is their inability to score touchdowns in the red zone. Now, Bert Auburn was great in this game for them. 5 for 5 on field goals, was kicking the hell out of the ball. But that's not going to beat Georgia. That's not going to beat Michigan. That's not going to beat whoever comes out of the Pac-12. They have really struggled with how talented they are. They've really struggled in the red zone, scoring touchdowns.
It's their quarterback. You can go all the way back to the OU Texas game. I guess I riled some people up whenever I was talking about Quinn Ewers and saying how average of a quarterback he was. I still believe it. Talked about the red zone deficiencies with that football team at that exact point. It's hard to score in the red zone. It's tighter. The decisions have to be made quicker. The ball has to be thrown more accurately, get it out of your hand faster. And I think that's where they struggle is at the quarterback spot. And yeah, I totally agree with you. It's going to be a problem whenever they start to play teams that are more talented than they are. I don't know. We'll see. And maybe it's a problem against Oklahoma State, but you got Ollie Gordon going up the strength of that Texas football team. I think it could be a difficult day for Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I do not think it's a good matchup. We'll preview that one. How about this? Power 5 conference championship game previews with the one, the only Josh Pate on Wednesday.
Nice.
Pate State material, baby. It's going to be fun. It's always fun when Josh joins us. But couple thoughts on Texas. You mentioned it. Arch Manning looked really good. He looked really athletic.
Yeah.
I know it was a glimpse and mop up duty, but he almost looks so good that I'm going to be surprised if he's not their starter next year.
Yeah.
Just because he moved so much better than yours.
Moves well. He's athletic.
Looks like he's got a better arm too.
He's got a good, strong arm. Yeah.
It was a tough night. It was a tough night for the Arches and any good crowd.
Yeah.
No, he did drop that snap, but he looked pretty solid, man.
From what I've seen, dropping a snap is a clear sign that you're going to be a great quarterback whenever you're young. I feel like I see that happen all the time.
Jackson Arnold did it.
Jackson Arnold did it. Caleb Williams did it like the first 3 times he was in for OU. Yeah. Interesting.
I hate complimenting Texas, but Texas playing the Brett Yormark clip on the Jumbotron was awesome.
That was good.
I rarely compliment the Longhorns, but that was well done. Well done.
That was good. I like that. I wonder if that's one of those that had to go through the approval process all the way up through the AD and everything, or is that just some intern throwing it on there?
I bet it was Steve Sarkisian going, when this thing's out of hand in the fourth
Play
quarter, play it.
it. Probably so.
I hope that's what it was. We've saved the best game for last. Ohio State went to Michigan, and, well, they got beat again. 3 losses in a row for the Buckeyes to the Wolverines. Michigan wins 30-24. The difference in the game was Kyle McCord's interception.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt. The early interception. Now there was so much football played after it, but I don't know. What did you think, Ted? Just Michigan was just a little better at everything than Ohio
Yeah.
State.
Yeah. I thought they were overall a better football team. And just kind of the nature of how they play kind of lends it to be a close football game, kind of no matter what. And I know there was some times that it was in question, but I never really felt like Ohio State was threatening enough. I don't know. I guess I was pretty confident the whole time that Michigan was going to win it, but there's no doubt that those are two high level teams. I thought McCarthy made a couple of really nice throws. Really, really nice throws. He looked confident, but the run game, man, the run game, that was the key. I thought it was funny late. I didn't think Sharon Moore called a very good game late. I mean, some of those calls I thought were wild. They threw like on a 3rd and 8, they threw that just, I think it may have been an RPO, but threw a stop route, and it was like a no gain or maybe even a 2-yard loss late, and they kicked a field goal instead of getting aggressive and trying to go get that 3rd down. But I mean, I think Michigan is, I think they're the number 2 team in the country, but I don't think they're close to Georgia. Am I crazy?
No,
They just don't have the explosiveness on offense like Georgia does.
they've got some power. There's no doubt about it, but they don't have it. What's the best way to put it? It seems harder for Michigan.
Yeah.
It seems like it takes more effort than when you watch Georgia and you watch Carson Beck, and when they want to push it down the field, you see the athletes they've got, you see the twitch they've got at running back. I don't know, it just seems easier.
It's like styles make fights, right? And it feels like Georgia's style is going to give Michigan all kinds of problems. Now, if Michigan can force it into a Big Ten type of game, just like they did with Ohio State, because Ohio State's typically a more high-flying offense than what Michigan is. Michigan's very old school. It's like a 90s NFL offense is what it looks like. But I feel like Georgia is going to pull them out of that comfort zone. But I don't know. We'll see. Definitely a very good football team. Really good on the line of scrimmage. I thought that was pretty cool whenever the big old lineman goes down and they're able to punch it in on the very next play. Blake Corum goes in. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Flash the 6'5" for Zinter. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dude snapped his leg in half. Not good. What'd you think about them not showing the replay? Are you anti watching a guy break his leg on the replay? I feel like you show the replay and you warn the people like, hey, if this stuff, I wanted to see the leg break. I don't know what that says about me, but I wanted to see how it happened. But,
yeah, usually
they just came back and they're like, oh, it was bad. Trust us. Like, oh, no, show me. I'm an adult. I'm a man. I got 2 children. I want to see this leg break. Show it to me.
I'm usually fine with it. I guess if everyone's telling me how horrible it is, I'm like, okay, well, I've seen a lot of bad ones. I can imagine it's going to look just like the other bad ones I've seen. I usually don't go out of my way to see it, but usually I think you kind of owe it to show, maybe whenever you're on television.
Zidner
Let the
seems like a
people make
tough
the
guy.
decision. Yeah.
Yeah. He wants people
Hmm.
to know what he went through. Come on. He seems like a guy that would go, let them see.
Now, if there's like a bone sticking through the skin, okay, maybe we don't need to show that with
And we cut
blood.
it off. We cut it
Yeah,
off before you can see the bone.
that's right.
But I think one of the big storylines coming out of this game is Sharon Moore out coaching Ryan Day. They were more aggressive. They went for those fourth downs in the first half. They were more creative, right? The halfback pass. He brought the big. That's a big orgy. I
Yeah.
can't believe they didn't drop. I can't believe Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt didn't use that. I can't, but that quarterback, he came in, they ran, what was that, a 20-something yard run?
Yeah.
I
It was
mean,
nice.
Ohio State didn't look prepared for it. He's a
Yeah.
big athletic dude, and his last name's
I
Orgy.
know.
It's hilarious.
Whenever I first I saw that he took off running and I was like, oh, who's that? I thought maybe they had a wildcat or something going as a wide receiver. And he didn't look all that big. But then whenever they flashed like his height, weight, and all that up there, I was like, dang. And then they kind of cut to a tight shot. And I was like, that's a good looking quarterback.
Yeah. But the decision that I'm sure Ryan Day is going to think about someone before the half. Had a chance to call the timeout and go for it on 4th and 2 from the 35. Let's 30 whatever seconds go off the clock. They end up missing the 52-yard field goal, and they're down 14-10 at the half. So that is now credit to Michigan. It did feel like Ohio State was taking the momentum. Marvin Harrison scored with 8:05 on the clock to make it 27-24 Ohio State. And man, I thought Michigan was going to deliver the disaster scenario for Ryan Day. Or excuse me, it was 27-24 Michigan.
Yeah.
I thought the funniest scenario possible was about to unfold. And that was Ohio State was going to be incapable of getting off the field for the last 8 minutes of the game. And Lou Holtz was going to run out of the tunnel and call Ryan Day soft to his face
Uh,
or something like that. But now what did Michigan run? 7 minutes off the clock before they kicked the field goal. But I thought the most disastrous scenario for Ryan Day was in play there, but it didn't end up happening. But I don't know what it says about me, but I kind of wanted it to happen.
yeah. I, that would have been bad, but judging by Ohio State Twitter, the 3 losses in a row to Michigan is bad enough.
No
I mean,
kidding.
plenty of people coming out of the woodwork saying he's done. They got to get rid of him. Sorry, you've been a pretty good coach, but you can't lose 3 straight. You're out of here. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's crazy how good Ryan Day has been there, except for the Michigan game. Pretty crazy.
He's lost a lot of games that are heartbreakers for that fan base. Games to Michigan and games in the playoff.
Yep. That's about it.
That's really all he's lost.
Yeah. I know what
So
was they had a run going where they hadn't lost a Big Ten game in a really long time till they started dropping the Michigan games, and it's still wild. We'll see what happens with them. I mean, I don't know.
they
I don't
need to
know.
get a better quarterback. Kyle McCord. Now, I don't know how injured he was, But on that last drive, at no point did I think Kyle McCord is going to take him down the field and win the game.
Yeah. Yep.
So they've been really, really good at quarterback. And Ryan Day's been a large part of that. You think about what CJ Stroud was when he was the quarterback there, what he's doing for the Texans now. It's clear how talented that dude is. I don't know if Kyle McCord's anywhere close to the type of talent that they've come to expect at that position.
It doesn't appear so. It doesn't appear that their offense is where it was, and I know that they were super talented at wide receiver a year ago, and they still are. I mean, obviously, but I don't know if they've got as many guys as they had a year ago. But back to the drawing board, they better figure something out.
McCarthy's mobility was a big factor in that game, and McCord just was not with his legs. Once again, it goes back to how banged up was he? I don't know, but that's the quickest way to beat Michigan is to get elite quarterback play.
Yeah. I mean,
that solves a lot of problems.
That's how they beat them for so long is Michigan could never stack up with Ohio State at quarterback. Just couldn't. I mean, great at the line of scrimmage, great on defense, but they just did not have a playmaker at quarterback, and now they're better at quarterback, and it's been the whole difference.
Sounds like JJ McCarthy grew up an Ohio State fan. Ouch.